Well, as we come up here and take a look at our grain market activity this time, I want to welcome aboard Oliver Sloup, and he is with Blue Line Futures in Chicago. Big moves in the grain markets today, Oliver, as we start out the week on a very strong note. Let's dive into these prices here and see what's going on. First of all, let's look at the corn market with our quotes provided by Bar Chart. Check this out. July corn now 23 1/4 higher at 804 1/2. Solidly above $8 now on that nearby July contract. Well, this is changing things a little bit today. December corn, 15 3/4 higher. We're now at 764 1/2. Okay, let's move to soybeans. What are they doing? We have July soybeans 12 1/2 higher at 1659, and November 13 1/4 higher at 1511 1/2. Now remember last week when the soybeans kind of took a leadership role and the corn took a back seat? Well, now it seems like the jigsaw, like the yo-yo is going the other way here. Now, let's take a look here at the wheat market. This is fascinating today. In Chicago, you have July limit up again, 70 cents higher. We're at 1247 1/2. That's where we started out last night in the Globex trade. Now, on the Kansas City market, you have the nearby July 70 higher, limit up 1352 per bushel. And it's interesting, on both of these exchanges, only July is limit up. The other months are trading, but they're sharply higher. Spring wheat trade in Minneapolis, we have July now 52 1/4 higher at 1377 1/4, so it's not limit up, but it's still very strong. In the cotton trade, that July contract is 289 points higher. We're at 148.09. And December, the new crop, December, 131.24 cents per pound. That's up 326 today on the new crop. So there's a lot to talk about, a lot going on. And Oliver, let's break this down here a little bit from your perspective. What do you see driving all this?
Well, a lot of it's the wheat market, and we got that headline over the weekend that India was going to put a ban on their exports, and that's got wheat trading limit up. And I think corn and soybeans are a beneficiary of the strength that we're seeing in the wheat market. Without the big move in wheat, I don't know that corn and beans would be rallying the way they are, but nonetheless, here we are. And the wheat being expanded or limit up right now could take us into expanded limits tomorrow. That's $1.05. So something to keep on your radar if we finish up at these levels. Now, as far as corn and soybeans go, I think we're going to quickly shift back to weather here in the United States and the crop progress report that's supposed to be released after today's close. And the crop progress, the average analyst estimate for planting progress for corn is about 47 to 50%, and for soybeans is closer to 31 to 35%. And it looks like a lot of these areas in the Midwest who have had significant delays over the last month or so do have a pretty good window, and we could start to see things continue to ramp up and be in a good place to get things started.
So is there any concern right now, given the fact that we probably had pretty good planting progress last week? Is there still concern that we'll have more soybean acres compared to the corn just because some of those may never get put in?
Yeah, there certainly is that concern. I wouldn't be surprised to see that play out. Right now, I think that corn's really going to struggle to get additional momentum up at these levels. That's assuming that wheat doesn't continue to rally to the moon, so to speak, because if that does continue, it'll probably take corn with it. But corn alone, as an individual commodity, I think we're at the upper end of the risk range, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of producers starting to take a little bit more advantage of these higher prices. They've been a little bit reluctant to do so as of late, but now that they're getting the crop in the ground, once you get past 50%, you probably start to see a little bit more hedging take place.
Crude oil, West Texas Intermediate crude, has been firming up today as well. And right now it's up 76 cents on the June futures at 111.33 per barrel.